Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another dynamite episode of Anything But Politics. My name is Jim Altman, and as always, I'm here with...
Christian Rollman. I like that one.
Dynamite?
That was nice. Yeah, that was sick. I didn't... That one wasn't in my idea folder of potential words, but I like it.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have an idea folder. I wish I did. I wish I could say that I plan ahead, but every, like 30 seconds before we start every episode, I'm rushing to just type in, synonym for awesome, synonym for cool.
I love it. All right. How was your week, bud?
My week's been good. We've got the room completely different. We have, in the background of my frame, it might look a little messy. We have a cardboard box that we've got there's a shoe box, there's the Xbox, there's the Switch. It's all stacked up on each other. Yeah, we're just moving everything around, starting fresh. It's spring. We're just getting everything fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Everything was feeling
That's
cluttered.
dope, dude. Yeah, it's always nice to, kind of reset with a new format of life, you know?
Yeah.
I love that.
How was your week?
So my week has actually been very similar in that, so for those of you on YouTube, you have noticed I'm in a completely different room.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, completely different room?
I'm completely different room. Yeah, my studio has shifted to my old bedroom.
Oh.
And my bedroom has shifted to, because I noticed that I spend way more time in my studio than I do in my bedroom, and the studio is really small.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, hey, what if I, instead of having a small room where I spend all my time, what if I change it to the big room? So now the big room, which was my bedroom, now has all my stuff in it, and it's got my Xbox and and my TV where I can watch YouTube and Netflix and stuff, and it's got my studio, and it's got pretty much everything I use during the day in the big room now. And now my bed is in the other room, and it's just my bed. It's just where I sleep.
That's awesome.
It's all I do in there. Yeah, it's literally so much more efficient, and I like it. I really like the vibe in here. I mean, the biggest challenge was taking down the LEDs and putting them back up.
That's fair.
Because they had been stuck up there for a while, and so a lot of the stick had lost. So some places have a little more tape than most, but you got to do what you got to do, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it feels fresh. It's
absolutely, and it's very interesting to me that we both without
so funny,
discussing it whatsoever, both kind of revamped our living and creative spaces.
This is why we're literally the exact same person. We do all the same things, just a state away.
Yep, that is exactly it. Because we talk often. We do have a group chat that we hit up very often, pretty much daily. But there are some things that you don't think to share because then we'd have nothing to talk about on the show. And
exactly.
When we finally get around to it, we've just been doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's really funny. That is really funny, actually. But yeah, so it's neat. It's like life, but in a different font. You know, I've gone from I've gone from Comic Sans to Times New Roman, and it feels good. Yeah. It feels good. It's nice to have a change of atmosphere, and I really like it. I like the change of scenery. It makes me feel way more productive. Mm-hmm. It is amazing how much an atmosphere can change your level of productivity and creativity.
Absolutely.
It makes a huge difference. But anyway, enough of the font hour. As fun as fonts are.
Facts.
You want to go ahead and roll the intro?
Let's go ahead and roll the tape. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back,
Hello,
my
everybody.
friends.
This is Jim and Christian.
And you're listening to Anything But Politics.
Fuck yeah! And welcome back, everybody.
What's up?
What is up?
Jim.
Hello.
I got a question for you.
Do
you ever do the same?
Hopefully have an answer.
I think you will. Do you ever do the same dance twice? Have you ever done the same dance?
Yeah, do you watch the fucking show?
I do watch the show, but I haven't paid attention to it.
No,
that's one thing I just realized it just now.
I pretty much do the same dance every time.
Dance?
Almost. Just because you don't have a lot of range of motion while sitting in a swivel chair, while in a little rectangle frame that's the size of a mobile phone. You don't have much space, so I kind of pump I raise the fists to about shoulder height and kind of pump them as I like bounce my body and I twist back and forth. Like I do the twist. I do that number.
That's a good one. I think that's like old reliable. Like you always count on that.
Old reliable. Sometimes I'll be a little more erratic with the heights of my fists. Like I'll also like do like a
Jim, if your dancing was a font, what? No, we're not gonna go into fonts. Yeah. I change it every time a little bit. Like there are definitely some where I've done the exact same thing, but slightly different. Today was a different one. I did a little more with my shoulders than usual.
Interesting.
Yeah, I felt a little more confident with my shoulder action on the dance today, which I don't usually feel. Nice. Usually it's very heavily forearms.
Heavily forearm. Yeah.
Heavily forearms. I feel that. Yeah. That's true. A lot of forearms, a lot of wrist. But today I was like, let's go a little higher up the arm and get some shoulder action going. You know what I'm saying? Get a little saucy with it.
A little saucy with it. We left, Christian, we left off on a almost cliffhanger last episode.
Cliffhanger. We did. Crazy. First time ever.
Right? No, it was
less
of a cliffhanger and more of like we'll just discuss this more next week. And we had done this before concerning possums, and we do plan on coming around back to possums.
Oh, we will. We're conducting our notes first.
Yeah, we're getting all of our ducks in a row for that one, just to make sure that we don't dilly dally when it comes to the possums.
Oh, we do not. We don't fuck around with possums.
We do not. We do a lot of things here. Fuck with possums, not one of them. So we intend to give you our all.
Here's a quick list of things me and Jim do not do on this podcast.
Yep.
Number 1, fuck with possums. That's it. Number 2, politics. Those are the only 2 things we do not do on this podcast. Everything else is fair game. But possum fucking and politics is not on that list. Go ahead.
Not on that list. One of the things that is fair game, one of the things we'll happily discuss, is something we were kind of discussing at the tail end of last episode, and that is late night television.
Late night television. I watched some videos this week. What have you come to the conclusion of over the past week, Jim?
That, like most TV, it's just not good, really.
It's so shitty.
It's just not good, but it has like the hypnotizing illusion that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it almost feels like you're watching something. Almost.
It almost feels like something is happening.
You're not. You've not
really
learned
close.
anything. You've not gained anything. Like, you could have just been looking at your wall for the last hour.
Yep.
But, like, you come off of watching it. No, that's exactly what it is. While you're watching it, you're like, yes, programming. And then, like, when it's over, you're like, what? Who am I? Like, what? You've been sitting there for an hour and you've got nothing to show for it.
It's kind of interesting they call it, we're going to get a little conspiratorial. Interesting they call it programming.
It is interesting they call it programming.
Yeah, that is fascinating. The things they call things, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, why do they call it programming? What is it? What does the definition of programming mean, and how does it relate to television?
Yeah, why is a show a program? Like, my program's on.
Yeah, aside from the fact that it's literally programming you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What's it programming you to do? Be a shitty talk host?
It's programming you to spend ridiculous amounts of money on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have cable, what the actual fuck are you doing?
If you have cable,
what are you doing? Stop. Everything you have on cable, you can find literally anywhere else. Literally anywhere else. Look elsewhere and you'll find it pretty much in the next 10 minutes. Why are you paying over $100 for cable? Why would you pay over $30?
If you've ever sat there scrolling through channels and said, there's nothing on, there's nothing to watch, when you have 150 plus channels, it's because that what you truly have is like 20 to 25 channels that you watch. The rest are like ESPN 1 through 50. You know, some are just like informational channels. Some are like shopping network channels. You have about like 20 to 25 that actually have content that you watch on it.
Mm-hmm. Or that anybody would.
And some of those are bundled. Like some of those are HBO channels. Some of those are like Disney owned channels. And with like 3, maybe 4 streaming services, you've got everything that you typically watch on your $100 package.
Yeah.
Except now you're paying like less than half price.
Yeah, genuinely, like, think about what you watch on cable. Like, if you have cable, let's go through a little thought experiment here.
Yeah,
if you have cable,
let's explore this space.
Yeah, think about the things you actively watch on cable. Not that's left on in the background, not that's something you're casually watching because there's nothing else to do, but something you're like, I'm going to tune in at this time because this is when this comes on and I want to watch it. Mm-hmm. How much would you pay for that? How much would you pay if there was no price and you got to choose a price that you felt was worth it? What would you pay for those programs? I guarantee it is not more than $40 because what you can get Netflix, Hulu, HBO, and Showtime and Disney Plus for all under 50, I'm pretty sure. All under 50 a month. Maybe it's a little over 50. It might be like 60 a month.
I feel like we've talked about the fact that like the reason you buy a lot of like streaming services, like one of the perks is like no commercials. When you buy a premium service, you're getting rid of ads. YouTube Premium, no more ads. You're paying money true. So that you are no longer bombarded by advertisements. Because when there's advertisements, you are the cost.
Correct.
You know, you are receiving a service for free because other people are paying the company, and that's how the company is getting their money. Other people are paying them to advertise to you so that you buy their stuff. And when you pay them, they don't need to take the money from that advertiser. Boom, no advertisements. Why are you spending so much money on a TV contract when, like, commercials are, like, 70% of airtime anymore?
Honestly, it is wild. And, like, the less people buy, the more commercials there will be. Like, the less money coming from consumers, the more money they're... It's like radio. If you listen to radio now, I've tried listening to radio a couple times. I know you're a big radio listener, but I've tried to listen to our radio stations here, and they're garbage because nobody listens to them and like the more nobody listens, the more ads there are. And the more ads there are, the more nobody listens. So it's a horrible, like this is why we changed the format. It's such an old format that does not work anymore because there are things out there that are multiplications better. They're exponentially better.
I'm so torn right now.
Why?
Because we need to get back to our topic of like late night TV, which is completely different realm than like television as
Correct,
a whole.
But it's this but it's the same principle of like a very outdated thing that doesn't work anymore, but they're trying to shove it down people's throats.
But that's the thing. Like you just said radio, right?
I did.
Like you just said radio, and this is why I'm torn because I want to get back to the actual topic, but at the same time, like TV streaming. That's the modern, cheaper, no ads, I select what I want to watch, better version of TV.
Yeah.
What's the progression of radio? Like, what's coming next in the terms of, like, live music that is new, to discover new music and listen to one genre? Like, I don't feel like it's, like, Pandora playlists or, like, Spotify playlists. I don't feel like that's radio.
No, it's not. It's not radio because there's nobody on the other end selecting... Like, it's algorithmic.
I love radio personalities. I love listening to, like, people run down, like, hey, it's me. I'm here every fucking morning from 8 until noon. I'll give you the news.
Yeah.
Stryker, Out of Order. If you've ever listened to Out of Order, I love that show. It's the weekend. It's the week's, like, top 20 songs, but out of order, and the number one always comes last. So there's semi-order. Anywho, it's a really good show. And...
Yeah, I'm sure there's great things on radio.
I like radio. Like, if I wanted to listen to a Spotify playlist, I would. But radio has something different. It's like, hey, it's me. Good morning. You're driving to work. Yeah, it's me again, Crazy Joe. I'm your radio guy. And
Crazy Joe.
Crazy Joe. He gets me to work every day. I've worked from home for like a year, but he gets me to work every day, Crazy Joe. And
we love Crazy Joe
here. What is
here.
modern radio? Because you're right, it's filled with advertisements because no one's listening to the stations and they're losing a viewership, so they're pumping ads. And whenever you turn on the radio and you hear ads, you turn the radio back off and you plug in your fucking aux cord. Do you think radio's going to go away or get better? Those are the two options. Radio will either die as an industry, or like streaming, it'll find an outlet to improve and change. What do you think?
Here's the thing. Something I've noticed out of pretty much any type of entertainment consumption is that whatever is in place currently doesn't change. Like, Hollywood hasn't changed in the last 100 years, really. It has a little bit, but not much. It's the same thing.
Like,
in terms of if your goal is to get into a movie theater, if your movie gets picked up and distributed across the nation in a movie theater, then you've made it as a production company and as a movie.
Yes.
Where, you know, there are things like South by Southwest and like all those things of different, what are they called? They're called it's not festivals, it's conventions. It's not really conventions.
Works.
I think conventions works. Yeah, these movie conventions and these places where you can go and watch indie films, and it's really, really neat.
Those are festivals.
But you have
those
are
said it wasn't festivals. Like
okay,
the Sundance
cool.
Film Festival.
Sundance Film Festival. Thank you. Yes, yeah. I was trying to think of the other. So you go to these places and you see these indie films, but even their goal is to get picked up by somebody to be distributed throughout the rest of the nation. Like, there's only so much you can do at a festival, and it hasn't changed. Like, Hollywood hasn't changed. It's the same shit that it always was, and they're not progressing. But
that's the thing, is that, like, yes, to their end goal, which is to, like, make a cool trailer so that people get interested and put advertisements all over radio and internet and TV so that you go and get picked up into a theater. That is the main goal. But Hollywood has changed in the sense that, like, it's making a fuck ton more than it used to. Like, Marvel movies,
ridiculous amount more.
Like, the numbers are ridiculous. The effects have changed. Radio isn't making more money. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, because radio, so I think there's a difference between like radio. So there's a correlation between Hollywood and the film industry because it's the same thing.
Yes.
Like, there's no film industry outside of Hollywood, whereas like the radio isn't equivalent to the music industry. There's so much more to the music industry, especially now, than there used to be. Mm-hmm. But the radio has stayed stagnant. So until something comes out that's like gives movies a different platform, there's not going to be that change because yeah, what got rid of radio was streaming. And that's what, like, people are like, why the fuck would I listen to the radio if I can
listen
literally
to the songs
choose
that I want to listen to
whatever I want, make a playlist, and that's basically my own radio station, and I don't have to pay for ads. Mm-hmm. And all I have to do is pay to get rid of ads.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's not much. Mm-hmm. And if you're like a student or something, you get an even better deal. So, like, why would you? Even iTunes like helped out a lot. Where like, oh, I can pay 99 cents to listen to my favorite song instead of like begging for the radio station to play it.
Yeah.
Then absolutely I'm going to do that. So these little things that came out in the music industry changed a lot, but nothing's coming out in the film industry and nothing's coming out in the TV industry that's going to change it. Like, cable can't change and the radio can't change. They're just going to sit and die out while something else rises up. That's just unfortunately how this shit goes. Because, like, when was the last time? Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, like, radio used to literally be like, hey guys, here's our number, call in and request a song, we're taking requests tonight. And you'd call in and be like, hey, can you play my song? And then they're like, okay. And then, like, half an hour later, you'd hear it, or, like, maybe you step away to go piss, and then you miss half your song.
You missed it?
Like, you can just play your own song. Like, you want to hear it? You don't have to ask anybody. You don't need any permission. You're your own man. Like,
exactly.
Just connect to that Bluetooth speaker and bump your jam. Put it on repeat if you want.
Yeah, listen to it for hours.
Yeah.
Like, you can do whatever. It's up to you. And I think that's what needs to change is the idea of giving the power to the individual, because that is like, if you want to see a movie now, you have to hope that it's on Redbox or on a streaming service. If it's not, then you have to, search around town to find it, order it online, wait for it. Like, you can't, like, on demand get a certain movie that you really want to listen to, even though it's a small movie.
Yeah.
So that's but with music, I mean, I listen to these tiny bands with 20,000, 30,000 monthly listeners. They're not getting picked up by anything, but they're out there and I can listen whenever I want. Mm-hmm. There's not that for movies or TV. Like, that doesn't exist yet. There's no, hey, this is the catalog of every movie being made, every TV show being made. it is up to you to pick what you want to watch. And a lot of that has to do with licensing. It's really hard to license a movie.
Oh, in fact, you know what? That's weird to think about, because like, if I want to make music, like I can be a small like music creator. Like I can like produce music out of my basement and like put out music on Spotify, and people can like make it big that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes you even hear of like people that like made a movie on like a $50,000 budget, which is ridiculous. It's a joke. Like
stupid small. Yeah.
Stupid small. And, you know, people that have made these movies and, like, built a studio out of the fact that it gained more and more traction, because these are good films. Have you ever heard about that with, like, a TV show? I made a TV show out of my basement, and, like, it became a huge thing. I never heard of that. I think that's interesting.
Unless you're already established. Like, when John Krasinski made the, what is it? Something Good News Network?
Yeah.
I forget what it was called. Yeah, when he made that, like, that's something he kind of basically made a TV show in his house. But he's John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he can do that, of course, but I couldn't do that. That's impossible.
No, what you're doing is making a YouTube channel at that point.
Exactly. Or even a TikTok channel. I know you can't make a TV show on TikTok, but I've seen things of, like, people making these short little episodic
we're making a come around, because isn't that what TV is? Episodic, like pieces of content. This could be a TV show. Like if this was put on TV, it would be a TV show. But because it's not on TV, it's a YouTube video. Hey guys,
what's up?
And also a Spotify episode. Hello, listeners.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if this was put on TV, boom, it'd be labeled a TV show. But that's not what it is. It's just a episodic piece of content.
Yeah, which is great.
Full circle.
Yeah, so
late night TV fucking sucks. James Corden, shitty ass. Fucking, what is this? Jimmy Fallon, who? Why? Why is anyone even?
Hey, don't disrespect my man Conan. That guy's killing it.
Conan's doing all right. We talked about that last week. Conan's all right.
Yeah.
But like he is. It's the same show. That's what I've learned since last week, and that's how I want to progress this conversation. It's all the same exact show. They follow the same format.
Yeah.
Why are there so many if it's all the same show? It's a dude in a suit talking to a celebrity that you might know about their most recent thing, even though that celebrity has talked about their recent thing on all the other person's shows too. And they're saying the same thing because the movie's name hasn't changed. Surprise, surprise. But, like, there's a different joke with this guy. And, like, with this person, they played a little mini game. And the celebrity got to throw a pie at the host. Ha-ha!
Oh, my goodness. How silly.
What the fuck is late night TV?
It feels like it's catered towards children sometimes. I swear to God.
It is, and but, like 50-year-old children.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like elderly children.
That's
like, what it's geared towards.
Late night TV is Cocomelon for boomers.
Yeah, I honestly think
I'll die on that hill.
It's Cocomelon for boomers.
You needed a second to. I could tell that didn't hit you.
I needed it.
Let that wash over you. You ever seen a baby just fucking space out watching? Like, they have sensory. I have a friend with a kid. Their name's Kansas. We've talked about Kansas. They're a really good friend.
Yes.
They have a daughter, and there's these sensory videos, and it's just like light music, and it's a black screen so that they can focus on the pop of color that arrives when a fucking fruit, like 3 strawberries, will like bounce onto screen, and they have faces and they're smiling, and then they go away, and then like 4 bananas will like bounce onto screen, and it's like a sensory video. That's fucking the same. It's the same thing. Like James Corden, like Stephen Colbert, and Conan just bounce onto screen, and you're just like, ooh,
red hair,
blonde English accent, and then like your night's done. Like you're asleep.
Yeah.
You work a 9 to 5. You get home, and this is what you do with your night.
Yeah.
You're a shell of a person. I'm sorry, I'm passionate about this.
You're good, dude. I love it. I want the fire. If they wanted to be successful and just kind of like ride this thing out, they need to just cater to old people and then die out like the rest of what, like, it just needs to. It needs to, because kids aren't interested. Sorry, Jimmy Fallon. No 14-year-old's like, oh man, I can't wait to get home and watch Jimmy Fallon in the Tonight Show tonight.
Well, that's why he's streaming on Twitch now.
Yeah, that is bonkers to me.
Jimmy Fallon streamed on Twitch.
With like Corpse and Valkyrie and like all those. First off, why would they ever agree to do that? They
Like,
could not have possibly had fun.
He has a whole production studio behind his back, and none of them knew shit about streaming.
For real, dude.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars of production value in this show, and they're like, yeah, we'll stream. He had like 10 frames per second. There were no mods in the chat. People were like sending, you know, those like,
oh my god,
like, you know how if you press like period and space and backslash enough, you can make like images in chat.
Yep.
So like they would send like Among Us characters with huge fucking dicks, and like they weren't getting deleted. There were no mods.
God.
Studio, like a Hollywood studio is behind this stream, and it sucked.
It just shows how completely detached from reality they are and the internet. They're so far away from what is modern and interesting. They have no idea, and it's so apparent, and it's so frustrating.
I think late night killed Jimmy Fallon. Like Jimmy was a great actor, funny guy, funny comedian,
very funny guy, really funny,
excellent on SNL.
Yes,
but like he's done stand up so long. Like, can you imagine what Jimmy Fallon like? Okay, so imagine you're okay. So y'all visit this space with me. You're like Walmart, right? We all have a Walmart. Like this is a space that all of us can imagine. So like you're just in Walmart. You're like in the cereal aisle. You've got like honeycombs in one hand and then like frosted flakes in the other. What?
I just bought honeycombs the other day for the first time in like years.
Who are we?
Because they're delicious. How random of a cereal for you to bring up, and I just had a bowl this morning.
We are the same
for the first time in like 4 years. Honestly, sorry. Had to interrupt for that. Go for it. We're in Walmart, honeycombs and frosted flakes. Go.
You're like, oh, which do I pick? You look down the aisle. There's James Fallon. He's not in his suit because you're not on a fucking show. There's no cameras. He's just there because he's trying to pick up his kicks, because that's all I can imagine that like Jimmy Fallon eats is kicks. Or like plain checks. But like not the good checks, like the one that sucks. Not like corn checks, like rice checks.
No, rice. Yeah,
he
exactly.
gets rice checks. And he's wearing like a t-shirt and fucking like jeans. Not even maybe sweatpants are too casual. He's wearing jeans. What personality does he have? If you go, hey, Jimmy Fallon, what?
Hey,
who is he anymore?
He's just a caricature of old Jimmy Fallon.
He's a caricature of old Jimmy Fallon. He's the ghost of Jimmy Fallon.
He's Jimmy Fallon if someone was trying to describe Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean? And they had to over-exaggerate who Jimmy Fallon was in order to get it across.
Jimmy Fallon is a fucking half-baked homunculus who, like, came to Earth, gained sentience, and was like, he walked up to a random passerby in New York, shook them, and said, "Describe a person." And it's like, which one? And he's like, a famous person. I was like, Jimmy Fallon is a guy. He's got short black hair and he's boring. And he's like, okay.
He never stops laughing. He literally never stops
laughing.
You know what's crazy? If you said Jimmy Fallon never stops laughing, the picture I get in my head is a person who laughs a lot. And he's still, like, the person in my head still isn't laughing as much as the real Jimmy Fallon laughs. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I know exactly what you mean.
So much. It is unbelievable. Try to sit through an interview with Jimmy Fallon. Count how many times he laughs. It is more than how... honestly, it's more than what the other person even says. Mm-hmm. Like, the other person could be like, yeah, my movie's coming. That's great. It's just like this. He's like on coke all the time.
I bet he is. I love Jimmy Fallon. He's like, if I had to talk about like my favorite late night show host, I wouldn't be judging them as a late night host. I'd be judging them as like do I like their other work?
Right.
And like in terms of like their other work that I like, I think Jimmy Fallon's gonna be top. I like his acting. I like when he was on SNL. I like Jimmy Fallon as like a person. but like old Jimmy Fallon, not the husk of what he once was.
Yeah.
So like he's definitely
I like
not
Seth
to
Meyers.
fucking rag on him, but bro just isn't around anymore. There's no one driving.
Yeah. For real. Well, you know, honestly, what killed his career?
What?
It was him being on SNL. While he was good on that show, he got the reputation of being the laugher.
Yep.
And like, oh, he's the guy who breaks character and it's funny. And then whoever his manager was just like, never stop. Do it forever. Yeah. And then he never stopped laughing. He's been laughing since 1994. Mm-hmm. It is unbelievable. And like, I don't think that's his personality. I'm sure if you had a conversation with him, he'd just be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, like ask Jimmy Fallon where he is, man. He doesn't know.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
What?
I think they have, you know, those laugh signs on it's like audience needs to laugh. I think they have one on the back of the studio as well. Yeah. And something broken, it's just always on. So he's just always laughing.
He's like, I thought I had to. I was being paid.
I thought I was supposed to laugh. Yeah.
It's what the studio wanted.
Yeah, this was what they decided to put in there. But yeah, no, he had on a guest at one point. I forget who it was. But they were just saying like regular shit. Mm-hmm. And he was laughing and the person was like, can you reel it in real quick? Like, I'm trying to get through this, please.
No.
Like on live television, he was like, could you calm down, please?
Dude, I'd like put my hand on his shoulder and I'd be like, James, we need to sober up here.
Have you ever seen when somebody touches him?
No. What?
He goes ape shit.
What?
Like, you need to look up like a video of someone like touching his hand or something. There's one video where he's got his hand on his desk and someone who's like, when they laugh, you know how some people, it's me, I do this all the time. When they laugh, they like feel the need to like hit your shoulder, bump your shoulder, or like grab your forearm or something. Like, that's one, that's me. And two, that was somebody on the show and Jimmy had his hand on the desk and the guy was like laughed and put his hand on Jimmy's forearm and Jimmy like pulled his hand back and like his face went like he was about to kill the dude. Yeah. He apparently really hates being touched and it's really funny because he turns into a demon whenever somebody touches him. It's wild. He's a weird dude, man. He's a very, very weird dude.
Yeah, I think I'm watching a video of like him and Rami Malek. It's Rami Malek in this video.
Yes, and, that's the one.
Yeah, he's smiling. He's having a good time. Rami touches his hand. His face just fucking... He shakes his head like oh, fucking piece.
Yeah, that's right.
He looks defeated. He drops his hands in defeat. He's just like...
Yeah.
And he looks at him like...
I don't think Rami Malek has ever been on the show again. They put him on the blacklist of never being on the show ever again.
What has Rami Malek been in after the Queen movie?
He did one more thing. I don't think he's ever going to be able to do much more because he's going to end up being pigeonholed. But yeah, I remember him doing like one more thing. Oh, he wasn't the main character, but he was a side character in something. Oh, It's going to drive me fucking crazy. Maybe there wasn't anything. Yeah, I guess he really hasn't done much. Wow. Anyway. Yeah, Jimmy's a weird guy. And you're right. I don't think he would have. I think if you just saw him in a supermarket, first off, he's never going to be at a supermarket. But if you saw him at a supermarket, he would just be
lost.
He would be lost. Yeah. He only knows like late night television at this point, and it's really like when he was doing the Twitch thing, he was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm doing my first Twitch stream with people and it's going to be great. We're going to play Among Us. I don't really know how to," and he did like the Jimmy Fallon thing where he just kind of, no, sorry. It's not even the Jimmy Fallon. It's the Boomer thing of like just explaining everything you're doing.
Yeah.
When on Twitch, you really just get on and do your shit.
Yeah.
And like have a good time. Like you don't have to be the narrator.
Exactly, and I don't know, man. I do think that it really is just... I think we nailed it on the head with Cocomelon for Boomers is what late night TV is.
Sounds like an episode title.
Oh, it really does.
It really does.
Because, like I said, you have a 9 to 5. You're working all day. You finally get home. You have a dinner, and then you crawl into bed, and you watch... Like, the thing is, there's sequential late night TV. Like after the Tonight Show, it's the Late Show.
Yeah.
It's this. Watch it again
with a different white guy.
a different way. The celebrity during the program change during your 3-hour commercial flew to LA. It's the same interview. Movie hasn't changed, by the way.
And there you are, just eating your plate of Cheerios, your plate of loose Cheerios, while you watch late night.
Well, you ended up buying honeycombs. I never finished that story, but you bought your honeycomb. So you're sitting there just like, they're not even in a bowl, they're in your hand.
They're not in a bowl.
And it's dry. You're just eating your honeycombs, watching the TV.
One by one.
And it's the Late Show, the Late Show, the After Late Show, the Late After 8 Show. And that's all you're doing.
The Night Show, the
Until
Tonight
you go
Show,
to sleep.
the Night Show's Tonight Show, the Late Tonight Show, the Late Night Tonight Show. Like, it's just, how many times can we say the same thing and do it a million times?
It baffles me that, like, so many late night shows exist. You need one. Like, one late night show would be awesome. Maybe 2.
I would say 3 tops.
3
You
tops.
get 3 dudes, because different people like different people. And so you get a nice mix of like, oh, I really like this guy. The other guys are fine, but I really like this guy. No, we don't need 14 of them.
Exactly, man.
In fact, there are more. They're just less popular. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Well, that was good.
Yeah, now I think we've exhausted late night.
I think we're there. I think we did it.
And you know what I think that does?
What does it do?
I think it brings us to the money corner.
No way.
I think it does.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm jazzed.
I'm also jazzed.
Let's go. Hey, YouTube.
Hey.
We're gonna figure something out for you real quick.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it in real time.
We're just gonna do it in real time. I mean, what is the YouTube content other than us like doing the show with less of a filter?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Well, that's what you want from
filter we
extra.
have.
Yeah, that's what you want from like extra content is not more of the same, but something different. Yeah. And it's not always going to be different. Like, hey guys, we have a game planned for like today's little intermission. Sometimes a little behind the scenes, like reel to reel. This is us, but like we're not fuck with you guys. Come on, like a little behind the scenes is fine.
Yeah. So welcome to behind the scenes. You've seen the front.
You've seen the front. You've had enough.
This is behind it. Yeah. This time we're hitting it from the back.
It's all we do here.
Yeah, we're hitting the scenes from the back today. Oh yeah.
I've gotten into crypto this week.
Deadass? You're fucking with me, dude?
Deadass.
At this point, you have to be fucking with me.
Did you get into crypto this week?
Pretty much. A couple weeks ago.
Son of a bitch.
That's ridiculous. What'd you get?
Honestly, not much yet. It started out as like a joke, and it's just gotten worse. But right now, there's like the huge swing of Dogecoin.
Ah, okay.
There's the huge uptick of that, and I've just been kind of riding that wave a little bit as a joke, and the more I understood the volatility?
Yeah.
It's volatile.
Yeah, validity. Volatility. Yeah, volatility.
Volatility. There you go, buddy.
I went to college.
The more I understood the volatility of it, the more I kind of pushed into it and like leaned into it.
Yeah.
And I think I've pretty much got it down now. Of course, I'm being safe. For anyone on YouTube watching, crypto is definitely a good market to be in. I can't say, hey, get Doge, or hey, get this, hey, get that, because I don't know. Like, I don't know it well enough yet to give you any type of advice. But all I know is that the market is a really good one to get into, especially right now. A lot of things are booming, and I think all market growth is ever upwards. I mean, as time goes by, as long as you hold for the long term, markets always trend upwards.
Exactly. Basically, so the nice thing about crypto is if you get it, the likelihood of you losing it all is pretty much nil. Like the only way you could lose your money is by it completely tanking and nobody ever uses it anymore. Like that, the only way is if it completely goes out. Like it's different from stocks where a business can go super low.
Yeah.
And it kind of just hovers at the bottom forever.
Yeah.
And then like, but with crypto, you either make a lot of money or you lose it all. So like it rarely stays stagnant. It changed. Like my dad's really into crypto, and like you can make a solid 120 in one day. Yeah. And then it goes back down to 30 the next. Like it is so wildly, it's like, it's almost consistent and inconsistent. It's very strange because you're right. It will always go up. Mm-hmm. There's a very low chance that it doesn't go up. And this is
again in the long term. I'm talking about yes. Like with the patterns of Ethereum, Bitcoin, like a bunch of these different like crypto. The trends have been upwards of like 1 to 3 years, sometimes 5 years. Mm-hmm. The trend goes up. At any given moment, yes, hard spikes can bring you way down or way up, but total trend is long term pretty much upwards. Period.
Yeah, and my suggestion to anybody who's into crypto and wants to get into it,
wanting to get into it,
the best thing you can do, not that I'm an expert, but the best thing you can do is to get one of the very established ones. You're not going to make a whole lot of money on it, but it will grow. And then use that money to get into a little more riskier ones that are lower. Because, so I got into Ethereum. I've got Ethereum and I've got a little bit of Bitcoin as well. Okay. I put $400 into each. I'm just going to go ahead and out my finances real quick because it's hard to say it without numbers.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, it's just hard to do this without giving hard numbers. So
that's fine.
I put 400 into each. And my Bitcoin has made about $17. Nice. And my Ethereum has made about $350.
Over the span of?
Over the span of roughly 3 weeks to a month.
Okay.
Sorry, $250. It's a $350 total for all my earnings, or all my gains. So the Ethereum has gained quite a bit, and it's because I got more of it. Bitcoin has skyrocketed. Bitcoin has gone up a lot in the past few weeks.
Yeah.
But I made a lot less because even though I put the same amount in, I got less of the share. Like I got less coin. And so even though it's
how much is Ethereum right now?
Ethereum is 2,500 and Bitcoin is like
56,000.
Yeah. So even though I put in the same amount of money to each and Bitcoin has grown more, I've made more money off of Ethereum because I had more of it. It's and then I put in like $200 into just kind of more riskier ones that are really low, but I got a lot of them. I put like $100 into one that's only like 20 cents. Mm-hmm. And so I've got an insane amount. So even if it goes up 5 cents, I make a good amount of money. And I did that on 2 different ones. So it's good to diversify. Don't put all your money into one crypto.
And never put anything in that you're not willing to lose. Christian was correct in saying that like, it's very hard to just lose everything. It's not impossible, but it's pretty much next to impossible to just lose everything in an insane burst of like, oh, there it was and now it's gone. If you're going to lose money, it's going to be like a slow decline. Yeah. But it doesn't rule out the possibility of something happening, and things can spike down just as they can spike up. So never risk anything that you're not willing to lose, stuff you don't already have. I have been in it I've been studying the market for, a while, but I've been studying with the intent to enter the market for about a week. Mm-hmm. Nice. Entered the market 3 days ago.
Nice.
Made maybe, and it was, I'm talking about like dipping my toe in the water just a little bit in the beginning. I'm talking about like I put $5 in a cheap coin, like a $20 coin.
Sure.
And that'll be Doge. I know it's really fucking funny to talk about because Doge is a meme coin. It started as a joke. It's still a joke, but it's a joke.
There's nothing really backing it.
There's nothing backing it except its
Yeah.
passionate community. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
The only
Yeah.
thing behind it is a bunch of fucking crazy people.
Yeah.
But over the last, like, 3 days, these crazy people have earned me $23, so I'm not mad.
Hey, there you go, man. That's quite a bit of growth.
That's quite a bit of growth. I put
Yeah.
145 into it.
Nice.
I put 145 into it, so right now equity is at, like, 163.
There you go.
But I'll tell you next week how it went, because
Yeah.
I'm not, and I'm comfortable enough in saying this, I'm not in a financial place to be extremely risky,
Right.
or to hold a
Right.
lot of volatile coins for a very long time. I'll definitely hold on to a great many thing for a long time, but I'm probably not gonna keep the whole 145 in.
Right.
If a big money move happens, I'm gonna take out the majority of it. But I'm never going to take everything out, just because it's nice to hold on to these things, because, again, market trends upward. And
Right.
if it's going to grow, let it, with you connected to it.
Yeah, and the biggest difference, like, if there's some people I've talked to about crypto and they're like, well, I know how bad the stock market is. It is nothing like the stock market, because the thing with stocks is, like, a business can go out of business in a day. Like, something can happen, the CEO can die, and they don't know what to do, and all of a sudden the stock tanks.
I don't think
Crypto-
it's political to say that, like,
No.
everything is going good in the world, and then the CEO says the N-word. And, like, the stock just immediately, half price. Like, it was a
people boycott
$400
it.
stock, 150 maybe.
Exactly. And you lost all that overnight.
Instantaneously. You wake up, you're looking at your
Yeah.
phone, and, like, you have alerts just...
Yep.
You've tanked.
Yeah. That literally cannot happen with coin, because it's not backed by people. People aren't in control of it. The market is in control of it, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, you're entirely correct. There's no company. There's no CEO.
No.
There's no face of the company like there is in stock. There's no face of a coin.
Right.
A coin is very, backed purely by the market itself. Wow.
Yeah,
I never quite thought of it like that. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah, a coin is literally just that. It's just a coin. It's like an actual, like, if you think about an actual coin, what
Like,
is
the
that
cost
backed
of the
by?
US dollar varies day by day. And this does the same exact thing.
Same thing.
On a realm of levels. I mean, like, Bitcoin is a coin, and it's like $65,000 or $56,000 right now. $55,000. It's changed since I last told you. I've got my app
it changes fast, dude. It changes so fast.
But yeah, you've got these fluctuations that are happening constantly. And then Dogecoin is at like 41, 42 cents right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last time I looked at Dogecoin, I mean, it was like a couple weeks ago. It was at like 10 cents, right?
Yes, a couple,
Yeah,
like,
it's-
last week it was at like 7 cents.
Yeah.
And
That's
now it's
wild,
it's
dude.
at 42.
Yeah, so like,
So that's
just crazy.
insane growth.
it's ridiculous growth. Stocks can't do that.
Exactly.
Like, it's really, unless a company puts out a new product and it goes nuts, it is real, and you can't foresee that.
I mean,
Like, the
I've
thing
gotten
with-
Seth into it. I've gotten my buddy Noah into. Noah was already
Good.
in crypto, but I like tipped him onto Doge at the very least. He has a much more diversified portfolio. Mine's very Doge heavy right now, and as soon as that trend is over, I'll probably diversify, be a lot smarter with my shit. But right now, I'm just making a joke and making money doing it.
I think it's a great idea to just, whatever money you have whatever money you have allotted, take some of that, put it in Ethereum, take some of it, put it into Bitcoin, because they can't, at this point, they hit a certain threshold where they're not going to go down.
Yeah.
They can't. They're too high up. They can't go down unless the entire crypto channel goes down.
Unless every holder sells at once.
But that's the thing about it's, even if you sell, it's currency, so it's still in circulation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it doesn't
still
lose
exists
value
to be bought in that moment.
Yeah, and so it's really, really hard. Like with a stock, when you sell, it goes back to the business, or sorry, Yeah, when you sell that stock, that amount of stock goes back to the business, and who knows when it's going to be picked up again.
Yeah.
When you sell crypto, it's going back and it's immediately bought right then and there because it's circulating currency.
And the thing about crypto is it's not just a market. It's not just, oh, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to sell it.
Right.
It's, hey, I want a fucking sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, you accept Ethereum? Neat. There are countries all over the world that have really embraced things more than America has so far in terms of like, oh, I can buy a car with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's becoming commonplace, and I'm so psyched for that because that's
Companies are
definitely the future. Is like I don't think there's going to be
absolutely.
paper money.
No.
Why would there be? You can lose it. Imagine losing a pair of pants at a hotel, like at the dry cleaners, and you're like, oh, my wallet was in there.
Yep, and you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Good luck. And companies are starting to pay their employees with crypto. That's huge because your paycheck, if you get paid, let's say $2,500 worth of Bitcoin 1 week, the next week that paycheck may be worth more. Mm-hmm. Like that's wild. That's never happened before. Your wages have never been able to go up without you having to ask for a raise or a promotion. Like your wages can change on the day to day. Now that can be good and that can be bad, but that's why companies are doing both. They're paying in cash and then they're paying partially in crypto. But that's huge. That's basically like when companies give you stock in the stock in their own company. But that's stock in their own company. That's not its own thing.
And that's why, because it's most definitely the future to go ahead and like start learning it now. Because this is definitely where things are headed, where like crypto is going to be a much bigger facet of the market, buying and selling. Like you're going to be able to go to Walmart and scan a QR code on your phone, and boom, it takes your Ethereum or your Litecoin or whatever. And that's just going to be how things are in the semi near future. I mean, like in a couple of years, I don't discount that'll be the way things are. So it's nice to start learning it now so that you kind of have a leg up in that system.
Yeah. And like Jim said earlier, don't use any money that is in your immediate. If you're like, hey, I need money for rent next week, don't take that money and put it into Ethereum.
Even if it seems
Bitcoin
like a short
or anything.
bet. Like if it's like, hey, 100. So, gosh, I hate to say it, but because Dogecoin is literally based off a meme, it's based off the Doge meme.
Right.
The community behind it is like just a huge joke, and I understand that. It's expected to have a huge spike tomorrow because at time of recording, quote unquote, tomorrow is Tuesday, the 20th of April, 420.
Yes.
And on 420, people expect Doge to definitely surpass 50 cents. A lot of people not even a lot of people, like statisticians put it at a 5-to-1 chance, 6-to-1?
Yeah.
5-to-1 or 6-to-1 chance that it breaks $1 tomorrow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I just might have to. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, there's like a 16.67% chance that like that'll happen. And that's not bad odds. If you told me to roll a die and then like you could quadruple the cost of a stock you have, holdings in, I'm gonna roll that. I'm gonna roll that die. So I feel comfortable enough saying it because definitely by the time this is out, it will be in the past. But I have
because even if it does go, even if it doesn't go up, that doesn't mean you've lost money.
Exactly.
You just take it back out and you haven't lost anything.
Exactly.
You break even.
I mean, if tomorrow came around and it like spiked down to 0.0008 cents instead of 42, then you'd have lost your money. But
right, but that's not likely.
What I'm saying is, let's say that did happen. I understand that I went in as a joke and that there is no promise that there's going to be a huge spike tomorrow. And if I lose this money, I lose this money and I still have everything good until my next paycheck. That is A-okay.
There you go.
That is fine. But if you can make some gains, make some gains. And welcome back, everybody. YouTube, hopefully we gave you a little bit of help, wink wink. If you want to find out what we're talking about, Spotify and other auditory platforms, go watch the YouTube episode, link in the description. For those auditory listeners, thank you for listening to that brief advertisement. It really helps us a lot.
Thank you so much.
Tail end of the episode. Not much.
Yeah.
Not much longer. Time's ticking down. We
oh no.
Yeah, we discussed.
Cut the wire.
Which one?
The red one.
I'm colorblind.
I hate you.
I am.
Why do I feel like it's always the red one? It has to be the red one. You have to cut the red one.
It's definitely like it's a cliche, but for what reason? Like,
sure.
is it because there's a semblance of truth to it?
Perhaps. Definitely don't ever cut the blue one. What are you, a psychotic maniac? You're cutting the blue one? There's a blue. It's always a blue, a green, and a red one. And you're going to go with the blue one? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't cut the blue one. Anyway.
Green means go. Go ahead. Cut the green one. Red means stop. Stop what you're doing. Take a deep breath. Cut the red one.
I'd the red one, yeah. Stop not cutting the red one.
Stop not cutting the red one. Blue? Blue's just fucking cool. Don't fuck with Blue's vibe.
Don't fuck with blue. The sky was not meant to be cut.
Yeah, blue.
Grass, however, is meant to be cut.
Grass.
Ooh.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Who fucking knows?
We exhausted late night TV, which is good because that's kind of what we wanted to do at the end of the last episode was continue that today, and we ran that dry, and I'm very happy about that.
We did.
But now here we are. What are we left with?
By the way, which is exactly what late night is. Dry.
Facts.
Now
here we are sitting with nothing to talk about,
we?
and that's pretty much where a late night TV show starts.
Oh man, now we're just gonna meme on.
Yeah, maybe we just dunk on late night for 20 more minutes.
Oh man, yeah, I don't even know where to go from here, man. I feel like I gave it all. I gave it all in late night and finance. Sorry, and whatever the YouTube content was.
You told them.
I fucking told them.
You fucked it up.
Shit.
No, we talked about some interesting financial stuff. And that can kind of be like a oxymoron, is interesting financial stuff. But honestly, we said a couple episodes, you were like, do you feel like an adult? Genuinely, we talked about the fact that like taxes are honestly not that taxing for a long time on the adult life. Nice. They only come around. Thank you. They only come around like once a year, and they're like not that hard to do. So in terms of things that make you feel like an adult,
like Santa.
Exactly like Santa comes around once a year, and it happens so fast you don't even realize it. But in terms of like truly adult things that happened on our silly show, we did have a little bit about finance, and it was really interesting and nice to talk about. Yeah,
I think it was interesting. It's a different shift. But what's the word it's a different vibe shift to our usual YouTube
it was definitely a different vibe to our normal YouTube content, which is definitely a little bit more chaotic.
Yeah, usually.
Damn.
Bet you didn't know I was going to do that, did you?
Did not expect it.
You had no idea. I fucking got you. I got you.
You got me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going off the rails. Last part of the episode. Let me hit you with Jim.
Yo.
What would you want to be written on your tombstone?
I don't want a tombstone.
Deadass? What do you want?
I want to be thrown in a hole. Cause like, okay, so just for your hypothetical, like I know like I don't want to be that guy that fucking like breaks the like, okay, so you're in this scenario. What do you want to happen? And it's like, I wouldn't be in that scenario. Yeah, that's annoying as hell.
Fuck that guy.
So to give you a yes and, what I'd want written on my tombstone is, I don't know, entertainer. Maybe tried to make people smile. Like, essentially, what you want written on your tombstone at the end of the day is what you want to be remembered for. If you are gone, what do you want people to visit your place where you've been laid to rest and remember about you? I'd like to be remembered for like trying to make any type of content, be it TikTok or YouTube videos or Twitch streaming or a fucking podcast, where I try to make people chuckle every now and again. Like that's what I want to be remembered by, so that's probably what I'd put on my tombstone, so people don't forget that was kind of my goal in life.
That's adorable. You know what I want on mine?
What?
I wanted to say he stopped breathing, but then he lived a long and happy life and then died.
What? That's fucking great.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Hopefully it makes people laugh or cry.
I want my tombstone to be right next to yours, and I want it to have an arrow to the left because you'll be on my left, and I want to say I'm with stupid.
Oh, shit.
I want to be buried on the state line between Tennessee and North Carolina on the Tennessee side, and I want you buried just on the opposite side. And I want our tombstones to say the same shit.
We can totally score that, right? We're important enough to have that type of tombstone.
Oh, for real, for real. Like, it can't be that hard. Come on.
No way. Do you have to reserve your tomb space?
I don't know, but this
Is that part of the funeral planning?
This goes back to like what I was saying. Like that's my hypothetical. That's what I'd want it to say if I had one. But my genuine answer was I don't want a tombstone just because my dying wishes is I don't want to be cremated. I don't want to be like I don't want to have like a huge funeral. I don't want a funeral. I want to be thrown in a hole and like cover that shit with dirt and that's it. Maybe I'll fertilize the soil and the tree will grow. But I fucking hate, like, it sickens me to think that one of the biggest things that come with the death of a loved one is financial crushing.
Yeah,
the cost of
true.
A headstone and a coffin and funeral services and cremation services and death certificate, this, that, and the other, man. Like, there's so many things with fees and fines, and you can the fact that you can rent a coffin is a joke to me.
Yeah. Do you know what I want?
What do you want?
Or do you know what I want?
What do you want?
So, for some fucking reason, my biggest issue with dying is like I don't want to be. Oops, he's not dead. I know that never happens.
Yeah, and a lot of people have that. People have been buried with like a release hatch in their coffin.
Yeah, I have visceral fear, but I don't want to be buried with like something special to get me out. What I want to happen when I die, I want
put
you
a fucking
to
$1,000 computer in there with some dope ass Wi-Fi. That way, if I'm alive, I can at least like live stream my last moments.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to be put in a shallow pool. Just put weights on me. Put me in a shallow pool. No, don't put weights on me. Allow me to be able to get up if I'm drowning.
Yeah.
But put me in a shallow pool for fucking hours, like hours and hours and hours and hours, like 2 days.
Yeah.
Put me in for 2 days so that I will die. If I'm not dead yet, I will die. There is no question about it. And then sever my head and then sever the rest of my body, split it up into different chunks, and bury it in little places.
You could just be...
And then people can go
now here's the thing.
scavenger hunting.
Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why the pool? Tell me about the pool.
Just because it's probably the cheapest way to kill somebody.
Cheapest way to kill somebody.
Yeah, you have to buy a pool. No, you have to. Cheapest way to kill somebody. Like put me in a
bathtub with 2 inches of water.
Yeah, there you go. Put me in like a public fountain outside a mall. Just put a dead body in there for days. Just any body of water, small body of water, so that I can stand up if I'm dying and like I'm actually alive.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if your purpose for the water thing was to just like make sure you weren't dead before, your final moments, like being cremated definitely is the same thing. Like it'd start getting a little too toasty in that room, and if you were alive, you'd be like,
Isn't it expensive to cremate somebody?
What?
Isn't it expensive to cremate somebody?
I have no idea.
Huh. Why don't we dump people in the ocean?
It's very lucky I have no idea how much it is to cremate somebody. I'm like, I could say I'm a blessed man for that.
There you go. That's true. Why don't we dump people in the ocean? Is it bad for the ecosystem?
I don't know. I feel like some people do get dumped in the ocean. Maybe like marines.
I feel like that should be the way to go. Like fish die in there and it's chill.
Yeah, fish die.
Like a lot of shit dies in the ocean. Yeah.
I mean, the ocean is like... So here's the thing. You'd think with all the people that have like ever lived on Earth, a lot more land space would be taken up with like graves.
Dead bodies,
and that's not true.
No.
And that's for a number of reasons, but we won't get into that. But
eating people is one of those reasons.
75% of the Earth is covered in water, and we haven't even explored the majority of the ocean.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit about the ocean that we don't know. I feel like you could be dumping people in there like crazy.
Shouldn't we though? Like, I feel like that's the way to go. That or fucking launch me into space. That would be dope.
Oh man, if I didn't give a shit about the people I left behind, and I was okay with like imposing a $150,000 burial fee on them, like if I could just shovel that onto my loved ones, then
why don't we do this?
I'd be a-okay with being shot in space. Space is my whole thing.
Why don't we do this? What? Yeah, then your tattoo would like be home. Why don't we have like a rocket ship designated to dead bodies? We pilot with dead bodies. It goes up into space, lets it out, and then comes back.
Yeah, Elon's got self-landing rockets.
That's what I'm saying, man. Why are we using up all this land space, destroying the ground by just putting dead people in there? Why do we care?
It wouldn't even clutter space, because what would happen is if it was released at a certain point, then your body would just start falling back under Earth's atmosphere, but it would burn up before it hit the ground. You would literally become a shooting star, and there would be no remains.
Aw, see, that's cute. And then you get cremated anyway.
Fancy space cremation.
Space cremation.
That's another fucking title for the episode for you.
Space cremation. I love it.
Mimi wants to be
Cocomelon
thrown into the
is dope.
ocean.
Say what?
Mimi wants to be thrown into the ocean. That's her dream.
I think it's a good way to go. You're definitely dead, and you get to spend time with the fishies.
Exactly. Fish man.
Fish man. That's me.
Fish man.
Fish man. What a dumb superpower.
Aquaman, fuck that guy.
Aquaman's chill, but Fishman fucking
Aquaman's
sucks.
not chill. Fuck that guy.
What's wrong with Aquaman?
I've never respected Aquaman.
Why, did he hurt you?
No, but let's say someone did hurt me. What's Aquaman gonna do about it? Unless the guy that hurt me is gonna go on a vacation to the fucking beach, Aquaman ain't gonna do shit.
That's the thing. When the guy goes to hurl you into the ocean, Aquaman's going to come out and be like, boo, bitch, and then grab him and pull him down into the water and drown him.
How far can
That's
Aquaman
why we need to
get
dump bodies in the water.
How far can he get onto land?
I feel like he could probably be like a turtle, and so he can crawl up onto the beach for a little while, like a sea turtle. But then he's got to go back.
Bro, like, you have to get deep into the ocean before, like, you can be, like, grabbed. Like, Aquaman's not gonna, like, crawl up into the waves and...
Yeah, he could. He can stand, right? Does he have fins or legs? He's got legs.
Aquaman's a bitch, and I'll die on this hill. And I know that Ty's gonna send us another email and be like, Jim, I'm gonna explain exactly why you're wrong.
I'm gonna explain exactly why Aquaman is good for the ecosystem, and he's good for the ocean. He's actually a positive member of
the Justice
world.
League.
Yeah.
He's an environmentalist and a stand-up gentleman.
I love it. Yeah. No, I think he's fine. He's nothing special, but he is what he is. He's Aquaman.
He has more powers than I do.
There you go. See, not everybody has to fill the role of Superman, you know. Sometimes you just need someone down to do what he needs to do, and he fills his role. He fills it well, and he's just chilling down there. He's on a bigger... You know what, Jim? I'm going to fire back at this.
Jeez!
The Earth is made up of mostly water.
Yeah.
So Aquaman actually has dominion over most of the world.
Yes. But, like, as a superhero made to combat crime, what crime happens at water? More than that, in, like, 90% of water, you're under fucking, like, marine law, maritime... There's no country owns the space, so there's no law. What law is being broken? It's Aquaman's law.
Fishes are going around killing each other, you know what I'm saying?
Fish violence, man. That's what he's there to stop?
Did you know how bad lionfish are for the environment?
No.
Dude, they're horrible.
Really?
They eat everything, and they don't have any natural predator.
Ooh. They do?
Yeah, they're super...
Aquaman. They're just awesome. Like destroying a coral reef, and like the sun hits its highest point in the sky, and like the looming shadow of a figure like looms over them, and they're like, what the fuck? They're munching on the reef. They look around. Aquaman.
Yeah, and like they're really hard to catch too, because they rest in little coves, so you have to spear them. You can't net them. They don't bite on anything.
Aquaman's
like you
got
have
a
to spear
trident.
them.
3 at once, bitch.
You can get
Spear
3 at once.
Yeah,
exactly. He is the natural predator of the lionfish. But there's only one man. There's only one man, Aquaman. Yeah, no, I was watching Shark Tank, and by the way, I have my products. We'll have to do that sometime in the next couple weeks. They're ridiculous. So, but yeah, I was watching, and they were like, yeah, lionfish are actually really horrible, and they're naturally only in the Pacific Ocean. But someone took a few, dumped them in the Atlantic, and now they're rampant, destroying the ecosystem of the Atlantic Ocean.
Why the hell would they do that?
What? Because they're fucking dumb. They probably thought they were doing better.
This is why I wish Aquaman was real. That's one crime he could have stopped. If he could have done that one thing, I would have been fine with Aquaman. But
they're about to dump it in. Aquaman's like, "What the fuck are you? Don't do that. Don't do that. Put him back. Put them back. They do not belong here. You fucking assholes. Do you think you're actually helping? You are not. Go away.
Go sit down."
And then he kills them. Go
Think
sit down
about
in
what
the
you
sand.
did.
I think that does it, man. That's a good. It's always good to end on Aquaman.
Yeah, maybe not a strong ending, but a passionate one at that.
It's not flashy. Yeah, it's not flashy, but it does its job.
Like Aquaman.
Like Aquaman. Oh, shit.
One more time, I'd like to say a big thank you, not only to our sponsors, but to Miller and Jamie, two people that have subscribed to give monthly donations to the show. And make sure that your listening and viewing pleasure are as great as they possibly can be. If you would like to do the same and are willing, that'd be very kind. You can go to anchor.fm, that is anchor.fm/anythingbut. That'll bring you to our homepage, and there will be a subscribe button there. And you can sign up for monthly donations of 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or $9.99 a month. And that is just a big help to the show, and we'd be saying your name at the end of every episode, just like Miller's and Jamie's. Big thanks to them. Big thanks to our sponsor. You want to get Ty on maybe next week? Let's see if he's free.
That would be dope. Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to talk
do
about
that
possums,
for shows.
and we're going to get a little heated.
Oh, we're going to get very heated. It's going to get very heated up in this bitch.
Turn on the ACs, fellas. We're bringing
this
the
is about
heat.
to get heated. Grab the ice.
Grab the ice.
All right, folks. It's been a good one.
Love you guys, and we'll see you.
Love you so much. Mwah.
Next week.
Next week, baby.
Bye-bye. Fuck yeah.